when they process, they're just going to come around me, right? And then when they process, first stroke, and then they know to cut.
I don't know exactly where.
Yeah, I was about to say myself. Oh, hey. Indoors. How you doing, guys? Who's better choice? I mean, it's so iffy you come. Yeah, you come with the rain and whatnot? Yeah, I was talking about the rain. Yeah.
Check, check, check. everybody. At this time, I'd ask you to please find your seats. Let's take this last minute to see if we can get comfortable. And snug? Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Voices certainly carry a little bit more indoors, it seems. So good afternoon, and welcome to Norwell High School's 2023 commencement ceremony. My name is Mark Bender, and it continues to be my pleasure to serve as the principal of Norwell High School. Before I get going, I do want to set out a huge special thank you. One for the maintenance team who sat out in the rain, went down to the field, dried off every chair. I do have to say it was all hands on deck and we got it done. I hope you're comfortable today. I also want to give a quick shout out, even though it'll be a little bit later on more formally. Superintendent Keegan also setting out every one of these chairs. It was done with precision, so a huge thank you. And most importantly, thank you for all of you. I know we had to make a little bit of a call today. I've been worried sick about it for the last 4 days, but this was the call, and it's going to be a great celebration. So thank you all for your flexibility, and thank you all for the spirit that you will bring to this ceremony. Thank you. On behalf of our students, faculty, and staff, I thank all of you for joining us today to celebrate and honor our graduates. Joining us in celebration, I am pleased to welcome Superintendent of Schools, as I just mentioned, Mr. Matthew Keegan. Central Office Administrators, Ms. Diane Provenzano, Director of Teaching, Learning, and Technology, Ms. Suzanne Theodoro, Director of Student Services, Norwell School Committee, Chair, Ms. Christina Kane, Vice Chair, Mr. Patrick Reed, Clerk, Ms. Allison Link, and members, Ms. Kristen McEachern and Ms. Lisa DeFresco. We're also, yes, definitely worthy of it. We're also joined by Select Board members, Mr. Peter Smelly, Mr. Jason Brown, and State Representative, Mr. David DeCoste. It is now time to begin the class of 2023 Processional. As we do each year, the graduating seniors will be preceded by faculty and staff from Norwell Public Schools. Please join me in welcoming this talented and dedicated group of men and women who have done so much to make this day possible for our graduates. Just a little bit of a fan club, I think. A little, skip on. At this time, please join me in welcoming the Norwell High School class of 2023.
Good job. You all got this right. job. Good job, good job. Yeah, Jack. Ooh, serious heels today, huh? Good job. Good job, good job. Good job, guys. Good job. Donna, good job. Thank you for all your help earlier. Hey. Good to see you. Nice decorating there. I'm gonna go for a hug. Austin, good job. Great job. Good job, Allie. Good job. Great, good job. Good job, good job, good job, guys. Good job. Right, Caleb. Nice job, good job. I now invite you to join me in a special moment of silence as we remember loved ones who are no longer with us to share in this joyous occasion, including Nicholas Wanderley, a beloved member of the class of 2023. At this time, I'd like to welcome to this podium Olivia Dahlia, Charlize Lestage, and Katrina Riker. Hang on one second. Now I would ask you all to please rise for the national anthem.
Let's get our pitch, guys. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag
At this time, we invite any current, former, or enlisted military men and women to please stand so we can extend our appreciation for your service to our country. Now, please welcome to the podium President of the Class of 2023, Maeve Ross.
Sorry about that. Hi, everybody. I know this is not how we wanted to have graduation today in a smelly, hot high school gym, but thank you to anyone that made this happen. To absolutely no one's surprise, I want to start off by thanking all the friends, family, and faculty who joined us today in celebrating the Norwell High School graduates, and of course, by applauding these dedicated students. To the friends and family, thank you for guiding our journeys and reassuring us that we're almost there, even when it was only the fall of our junior year. To the faculty, thank you for believing in us and being the trusted friend to talk to at all times. And lastly, to the graduating class of 2023, thank you for the unanimous agreement to start conversations at the beginning of class in order to get the teachers off topic, but also the millions of looks exchanged in the hallways that read, "You're not alone." After years of saying, "I can't wait until we graduate," well, here we are, and it is a lot more bittersweet than I had imagined. The excitement of a whole new chapter of our lives awaits us, many in different parts of the country and even the world. Yet despite our impending futures, we find ourselves resurfacing old memories from past chapters. To name a few, our first days of elementary school, when our parents would force to take pictures of us, no matter how much we resisted. Our 8th grade semi pictures, where everyone thought they looked so much more mature than they really did. And that first Spirit Week, where we ran through the hallways to avoid the chants from upperclassmen. Though I can assure you we are ready to get out of this bubble known as Norwell, Massachusetts, part of this town will always be carried within each of us. Maybe it's something this town has taught you, or maybe it's something you learned yourself from growing up in this town. Either way, Norwell High School has been home to our ideas, friendships, mistakes, successes, failures, and so much more. It is now time for us to find a new place we call home. After extensive scientific research, more like a poll I took on Instagram, I have constructed a list of the top 5 things we, the graduating class, will not miss about Norwell High School. Sorry to all the faculty out there. Starting at number 5, the classic response, the schoolwork. Number 4, the chicken patties. If you have tried one of them, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you don't want to know. Number 3, the lack of soap in the bathrooms. I can vouch for my classmates when I say there is no worse feeling than walking out of the stall to wash your hands and trying each and every soap dispenser, only to realize they are all empty. But our determination did not stop there. Sometimes, if we had the energy, which was not a lot, but we would travel from bathroom to bathroom across the high school in search of soap. After our journeys, we faced utter defeat. Number 2, the building, specifically the lack of windows and the bizarre use of cobblestone floors. Yes, the look of a building does play a role in our motivation and health. Ask one of our fellow classmates, Nick Sadowski, if you have 2 hours and would like to talk more on the subject. He's an expert. Number 1, the traffic at 237. Nothing will compare to the horror and annoyance of almost getting into a bumper-to-bumper accident every single day, or sitting at the end of South Street waiting to turn left, all because we raced to get out of school so quickly, all because we wished our school days away. Although, as we look back, we will not miss all 5 of these things, the irony is that we will miss most. We spent so much time wishing to grow up and get out of this town, and now that the time is here, we try to hold on to every last memory, the good and the bad. As I was writing the speech, I started asking myself, Why are we holding on to these lasting memories if we all urge to leave so badly? These past 4 years have been an emotional roller coaster, to put it lightly, and I mean lightly. We recognize that some things other grades have taken advantage of in the past are things that we, as a grade, lack. Other classes have been able to sit here today without the inexpressible feeling that someone else should be graduating with us. Through tragedies, we have learned something unique, especially at such a young age. In our next journeys, we will not have a familiar face to look at and think, they have gone through it too. We have endured so much, including the seemingly fruitless list I mentioned above. But the beautiful thing is that we have done it together. We have grown together. Although our experiences may have been different, the facts of all that has happened remain the same, and that in itself is unique. And although we are certainly not lucky to have encountered all that we have, I am lucky that I was able to fight through it all with you, the graduating class of 2023. I cannot wait to see all of the great accomplishments you make. You are truly special, and I'm grateful to have watched you nourish your many talents over the past 4 years. And please, don't forget to respond to my emails about our high school reunion in 10 years from now. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Maeve. Excellent job. Excellent. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Anthony Jaja, selected by his peers to the 2003 Senior Address. There you go. You're going to rock this.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to congratulate every single one of you on an amazing 4 years here at Norwell High School. Despite what you may have thought after failing that one math test freshman year, you did graduate. And no, the world did not burst into flames. But in all seriousness, all your hard work has paid off, and I'm honored to say that I'm standing here before you as a member of the graduating class of 2023. So parents, you might be wondering what your kids did at school in the past 4 years of their lives. Allow me to give you a little insight into what a normal day at Norwell High School would look like. First, as you pull into senior lot, your smile quickly fades because the clock reads 7:56, causing you to scurry to the front door. You're then greeted by a genial smile from the office staff. Looming over the foyer, however, is probably Mr. Morani, Mr. Ganiatis, Mr. Willis, and Officer Phelps. Your palm starts to sweat because you're a minute late, so you hope Mr. Morani will let it slide, just this once. After you slip past the entrance, you beg Judy to open the cafeteria back up for some hash browns, even though the sign clearly says breakfast closes at 7:50. Finally, you make it to first period, which happens to be English today. You're surrounded by zombie-like teenagers guzzling down strawberry refreshers to keep them from falling back asleep. Unfortunately, the most interesting thing that happened in that class was when the person next to you spilled their coffee, causing a commotion. I'm sorry, any English teachers, Socratic seminars are simply not fun at 8 in the morning. After what felt like 5 hours, the bell rings for second block. Today, you have math. The first 15 minutes of class are spent trying to get the teacher to talk about their weekend or their kids. The next 15 are spent complaining about when we're ever going to use this in the real world. The last 15 are spent by the math teacher trying to convince you that math is actually really cool. Thank you, Mr. Murphy. As you're setting your bag down for third period class, you're suddenly surrounded by the gaze of baffled freshmen. It hits you that they moved the time of homeroom for the third time in 4 years. Third period means science class, and fortunately, you're doing a lab. I don't know what it is about those blacktop lab tables, but you suddenly become a philosopher, accompanied by your 3 other philosopher friends searching for the meaning of life, even though the task was to measure something with a ruler. As you're walking to your next period, every time, without fail, a group of sophomore boys comes hooting and hollering, pushing their friends around, bumping into you. Now, onto long block. Long block somehow became longer every year that we attended Norwell High School. So you try to convince your history teacher that fourth lunch is so far away and you're feeling really stuffy. The obvious solution is a mask break. The only problem is we haven't worn masks in 2 years, so the proposition is shot down pretty quickly. You finally make it to lunch and pray for one of the forms of chicken. Chicken batty, chicken bowl, General Tso's chicken. Honestly, anything chicken related will do. By fifth period, you're feeling pretty burnt out, but thankfully, you have art. When you aren't being poked fun at by Mr. Nottingham, it can actually be a very relaxing class. The only problem is that fifth period feels like last period every single day. Last period yoga finally rolls around, and when you try and sneak out 3 minutes early to beat the buses, you're yelled at for lining up at the door. You finally make it home and get ready to do it all again the next day. Okay, so now that I took you all through a normal day, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that I didn't mention. When you were walking to first period, you potentially walked past the next Nobel Peace Prize winner due to the time we spent philosophizing at the science table. After second period, the time devoted in math class means you could have walked past the next Pythagoras. In third period, the next New York Times best-selling author because of those very same Socratic seminars that we dreaded before. The point is that every single one of you has unique individual potential. Every single person here is amazing, with amazing individual talents. But what makes us special is the community bonds that we've developed here at Norwell High School, ranging from winning state titles on the athletic field, to nominating the stage in theatrical competitions, to exhibiting staggering artistic abilities, thanks to Mr. Nottingham's comments that push us to strive for the best. We've done it all, both as individuals and as a community. We have matured and grown together, and I'm inspired by the bravery and the courage that you have all displayed throughout these past 4 years. Nothing, not even pandemic, nor hardship, nor tragedy, could break your indomitable spirit. When this town was shaken to its core by the tragic passing of Nick Wanderley, instead of letting sadness and fear consume us, the senior class was proactive, supporting, comforting, and empathizing with their peers. While Nick may not be physically sitting here with us today, I see his smile and his kindness in every single one of you. His caring and giving spirit lives on in each of you here today. And we should all be inclined to continue to live like Nick would have wanted, inspiring those around us as he inspired us. Some of you may leave here and never come back to Norwell again, but it will always be a part of you. The pride and spirit and determination has been imbued into your soul, so each one of us will carry a piece of Norwell into the outside world and expand it. The rest of the world really is lucky. So as we all move into the next chapter of our lives, what advice could I possibly give you? I would say that every single one of you should not be afraid to be yourselves, because I guarantee that you all make the world a better place as a result. The talents and skills we've cultivated here at Norwell High School will help us become the next generation of teachers, physical therapists, engineers, artists, and whatever other amazing professions that we go on to be. As we embark into this next step in our lives, it is normal to feel apprehensive, but I have the utmost confidence that each of you will go on to do something amazing, because I've already seen what you're capable of, and I know how much you can achieve. So, I challenge every single one of you here today to be confident in whatever you do, to explore new things, and to live life with no regrets. While that may sound cliche, it's true. Because if you do those 3 things, then I can assure you that the sun will shine a little brighter, the sky will look a little bluer, the grass a little greener, and life just a little bit better. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Great job, Anthony. It gives me great pleasure now to welcome our faculty speaker, Ms. Jessica Johnston, who our graduates chose to speak at today's ceremony. Ms. Johnston is a truly dynamic teacher whose passion for teaching and the support she provides her students is on display every day. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Jessica Johnston.
class of 2023. Because my beautiful daughter Ella is in your class, I have been watching you for 13 years. I came in elementary school and I chaperoned your field trips. I came to your middle school plays and I clapped in the audience. And then I met you as my students in 9th grade, and I even taught you on Zoom when your video was on. And then in 12th grade, I met you again. These beautiful people in front of me. But my earliest memory is 13 years old. You are in kindergarten, and it is gingerbread cookie decorating day. You each have one cookie, and you're sitting at this table with piles and piles of frosting and sprinkles and candy. And each one of you sits there with eager eyes, thinking, this must really just be a competition to see who can slather on the most candy and sugar and frosting on your cookies. I can't believe those little cookie decorators are donning gowns and caps and are ready to take on the real world. Thank you for the incredible honor of giving you this speech. This is the second important speech that I have given this year. The other speech was on the first week of school, beside the grave of my grandfather, an immigrant who grew up in New York City during the Great Depression. My grandfather had a tragic early life. His little brother died at the age of 11. After high school, he was drafted into World War II. He stormed the beach of Normandy. He froze in the Battle of the Bulge. And then afterwards, after he returned, after burying victims of a concentration camp. Having experienced so much early tragedy, he could have believed that his life was fated for failure, that his life was destined for disappointment. But he didn't. When he got home, he came and married his childhood sweetheart. He studied to be a high school teacher at NYU, built a robust music program. In his free time, he built houses, grew a garden, lifted weights, and raised a family. After so much tragedy, he chose to live. So for this speech today, spoken at a graduation, instead of by a grave, I focus not on death, but on life. And to do so, I harness the wise words of Norwell's boys hockey team. You see, this year, our boys hockey team felt cursed. If a puck bounced, it bounced the wrong way. If the call was made, it favored the other team. So the team came up with a slogan: forget fate. Forget that bad call. Forget that bad bounce. Forget that it rained on your graduation day. Forget what you can't control. Focus on what you can. So, when our hockey team faced a sudden death overtime in the biggest game of their life, they returned to their year-long mantra: forget fate. You were the masters of your fate. You controlled your destiny, hockey team. And you, class of 2023, you have had some bad calls and some bad bounces of your own. Yet you constantly found the light. You took brokenness and you found restoration. You took pain and you found connection. You were robbed of most of high school, but you picked up guitars and recipes and cameras, and you found purpose. No matter what fate threw, you chose to live. So as you leave, I encourage you to do the same thing again and again and again in every season of your life. Now, poets through the centuries have attempted to wrap this timeless sentiment in metaphor. The English poet Robert Herrick said, "Gather ye rosebuds while ye may," while Marge Piercy encourages you to jump into work head first without dallying in the shallows and swim off with sure strokes almost out of sight. Thoreau exhorts you to suck the marrow out of the bones of life. But it's Cape Cod's own Mary Oliver whose words hit just right for me. When it's over, I want to say, all my life, I was a bride married to amazement. I was a bridegroom taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I've made of my life something particular or real. I don't want to find myself sighing or frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited the world. Class of 2023, forget fate. Gather rosebuds, swim out deep, take the world into your arms, for you are the master of your fate. So I close where you and I began. My beloved students, I offer you one more last final metaphor made just for you. Class of 2023, I hope you will live in such a way that when someone eulogizes you, they will speak of you as someone who saw this world as a gigantic gingerbread cookie decorating table, teeming with possibility, glittering with opportunity. And may you, with the singular cookie of your life, load on more sweetness than anyone thought possible.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Johnston. As we shift our attention to recognizing our graduates, I would like to point out those students adorned with a gold braid on their gowns. These students are members of the National Honor Society. Would these students please stand so we can recognize you? Each year, Norwell High School presents two highly distinguished awards to graduating seniors. Ooh, that was scary. We're making it, though, I think. These awards are the Mary Gunn Award and the Harry S. Merritt Award. The Mary Gunn Award is given in honor of Miss Mary Gunn, who served on the Norwell School Committee for 21 years. The senior who receives this award must demonstrate service to community, outstanding citizenship, and exemplary personal characteristics. To no surprise, this year's recipient of the Mary Gunn Award is Maeve Ross. Please stand to be recognized. The Harry Merritt Award is given to the senior who possesses the qualities of leadership, scholarship, and service, which Harry Merritt exemplified. Additionally, the student selected must demonstrate outstanding character and dedication to the school and community. This year's Harry Merritt Award recipient, once again to no surprise, is Anthony Jaja. Next, I'd like to recognize this year's valedictorian and salutatorian by asking them to stand as their names are called. The salutatorian for the class of 2023 is Holden McAvoy. The valedictorian for the class of 2023 is Connor Reddy. At this time, I invite the marshals to organize the class of 2023 for the presentation of diplomas. Get those cameras ready. You guys go ahead and stand up. You guys can stand there.
Maeve Elizabeth Ross. Madeline Louise McDonald. Anthony James Jaja. Eleni Kathleen Landry. Reese Hamilton Stoddard. Alexandra Cecilia Abruzesi. Tess Catherine Adams. Ava Lee Alex. Matthew William Allen. Callie Elizabeth Baker. Maddox Carlton Bedford. Jack Allen Burtwell. Michael Frederick Borelli. Samantha Francis Boyle. Patrick Paul Brennan. Jamie Alexa Brown. Grace Laura Campbell. Harrison Frank Carr. Nora Grace Carol Millens. Owen Reed Casagrande. Sarah Ann Cashin. Natasha Osborne Christensen. Owen N. Christo. Matthew John Champa. Ellie Dorothy Camesso. Casey Jane Connors. Bridget Kathleen Costello. Taylor Jocelyn Kuchu. Olivia Rose Dahlia. Ryan Mahoney Daly. Matthew Carlton Dasati. Ava Lynn DeCudo. Quinn Philip Delcor. Hannah Claire Devaney. Grace Ann DiLoretto. Margaret Grace Donovan. Sean Edward Donovan. Darcy Kathleen Driscoll. Jamin Stanley Durka. Ruby Victoria Dwyer. Catherine Bridget Faraday. John Corrigan Fatusha. Garrett James Fisher. Derek J. Fitzgerald. Maxwell Joseph Flanders. Allison Ford. Samuel Charles Foster. Faith Ellen Gagnon. Julia Marie Gordon. Emma Suzanne Green. Mallory Kelly Hahn. Caroline Alexis Tia Hayes. Grayson Taylor Higgins. Olivia Grace Hines. Robert Winthrop Hodges Falcone. Sophia Catherine Hollander. Ridge Earl Homer. Hillary Julia Howell. Connor William Jennings. Ella Faith Johnston. Aiden Kevin Kane. Nora Kathleen Kennedy. Layla Sarah Keelhorn. Kaylee Marie King. Chloe Elena Kirschner. Rory Patrick Kitterick. Caroline Elizabeth Koch. Abigail Grace Kohler. Natalie Elaine Lacey. Sarah Marie Lacey. Nicholas Joseph Lamparelli. Connor John Landry. Mark Joseph Laura. Kevin James Leary Jr. Matthew Sean Lever.
Luke Matthew Lederer. Hannah Grace Leff. Charlize Lily Lestage. Madeline Kathleen Lievy. Margaret Claire Lievy. Griffin Cotter Link. Adam Christopher Long. Holden Hughes McAvoy. Jonathan Richard Mesher. Matthew John Marsicano. Allison Elizabeth Martin. Millicent Love McCabe. Molly Colby McCullough. Ariana Sky McDonald. Dylan Burr McGurk. Ella Jane McLaughlin. Anna Katerina Milivskaya. Julia Elizabeth Molinari. Emily Bonnie Malahi. John Martin Mullen. Cormac Jung Murphy.